Hello, in this lesson, I'm going to review for exponents, square roots, and other operations involving exponents and square root. This is the material to support chapter 3 of the lesson. Note that all problems listed in this handout here can be done using a calculator or by hand. So here mainly I'm going to show you how to do each by calculator. So let's kind of review some exponent. So exponent, when I say a to the n, meaning that a multiply itself n times, or n factors of a. And expression example, 4 to the third power, meaning that 4 times 4 times 4 3 times, which is give me 64. Okay. So another example, if I want -7 squared, meaning that my base here is -7, and my exponent here is 2. So it's -7 times itself twice. So -7 times -7 give me positive 49. Now it's important to note that there's differences between -7 squared and a -7 squared. So let me write them both here. So when I write -7 squared, meaning that I'm gonna -1 times 7 squared. And that is equal to -1 times 7 times 7. So the answer here actually is -49. Where -7 quantity square, meaning that -7 times -7 by itself twice, which is going to give me 49 here. So those two numbers does not equal to each other here. So watch out for your negative sign. Practice. So here in the expression, 3/5 quantity to the 4th power, my base here is 3/5. So 3/5 times itself 4 times. The exponent here is 4. In this part here, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to evaluate each one of those using your calculator. Okay, so first, 5 to the 3rd power, I'm typing 5. Now this little caret right here, little arrow right there, tell me get exponent to the 3 power. I enter in your calculator, put enter, 125. If I want to do -3 quantity to the 4th power, I need to make sure I put a parenthesis to tell my calculator that the base is -3. So -3, right? And then to the 4th power, that was 81. If I want the base to be 3 to the 4th power and then times -1, I can write this way, -3 to the 4th power. Notice that these two are going to give me different answers. One tells me that my base here is -3, where the second one tells me my base is 3 to the 4th power, and then times it to -1. Right? So now let's do the decimal. I'm going to do decimal form. Here, notice in decimal expression, here use a parenthesis. It's more of, make it easy to read. So if for decimal and fractions, I like to use a parenthesis. So this is 0.46, right? To the power of 3, so power 3. Right? I can also do the fraction. I would say 2/3 to the power of 5. Okay, notice that I use the parenthesis to make into a fraction. Now put enter. Now notice that my answer is in decimal form. To convert that to fraction, all I have to do math. And notice that fraction is highlighted, so just put enter. Enter. It will convert my answer to a reduced fraction. All right, let's do one more. A to the power of 6, which is the last one. 6. And enter. And I get the answers here. Right. Now let's review square root. Now, definition, that a and b be non-negative real numbers. We say that a is a square root of b if a squared equal to b. So in other words, a is the number that when squared, going to give me b. So in this notation, a squared equal to b, meaning I can do, that means if I would do, let's use a number to do it. Say square root of 16 equal to 4, because 4 squared give me 16. So note that if I square root of 16, I will get the 4 back, right? 4 squared give me 16. So square undo square root also undo square. So if I would have, say, square root of 4 square, notice that this square root undo the square, gonna give me 4 back. They're inverse operation of each other. Now this symbol here is with a square root. Right? So let's do some practice. Again, here I'm gonna care about whether you know how to use a calculator to do it. So let me demonstrate to you how you evaluate each one of those using a calculator. To get to your calculator, square root, there's a little sign under square. So you hit second, x square, gonna give you square root. Type in 25, you can get square root 25. Okay, I want to do a negative square root 0.09. Hit the negative sign first. Second, x squared can become square root 0.09, and that is negative 0.3. I can do square root of 125. Second, x squared, that 125, and that's okay, his square root 11.18 approximately. So familiar with yourself, we calculated how to evaluate simple expressions like that. The third objective is we're going to work on order operation. We're going to combine exponents and square root in one expression. Okay, let's do the order operation here. Again, I think we're all familiar with the wording of pandas, right? Here. So step one, I'm perform all operation within grouping symbols, any type of grouping symbols. And if you have more than one grouping symbol, I'm gonna work inside out, like work from the inside most to outside. And then I work on exponents and radicals, multiplication and division always left to right. The third step, for addition and subtraction always left to right. Now let's do some exercise here. So now here again, I'm gonna focus on how to use your calculator to do all of them the following. So I'm gonna demonstrate to you. Okay, so I'm gonna clear my window. So note that I had square root involved in the expression. I have 6 plus 3 over square root 15. When it was a fraction, I'm gonna put them inside parenthesis, a grouping symbol, to tell my calculator that evaluate that first. So okay, so this 6 plus, again, I see a fraction, so I'm gonna put a parenthesis. 3 over square root of 5, so second square give me square root of 5. Now to exit the square root, I'm going to hit the right arrow and then hit close and put enter, right? So note that I complete the whole calculation in one step, 7.34. Okay, let's do the second one, the same thing. Notice the second one on top, I see subtraction. I have seen many subtractions, so meaning that I'm going to type exactly the same thing, and I'm going to add one more parenthesis around it on the top, and I put one extra parenthesis on the denominator. So I'm going to type exactly the same thing. In addition, I add one more group of grouping symbol here to tell my calculator, group all the numerator in one part, group the denominator in one part, right? Let's do it. So this is the first open, right? This is a big one here. Now I'm going to do 3 minus 2.7, 3 minus 2.7. I'm going to close that, square, right? Plus a second grouping symbol here, 4 minus 5.2, close and square, plus 5 minus 3.4, and then square, plus 1 minus 1.7, and then square. Now I'm going to close one more parenthesis. Oh, notice I have a little exponent there. This is gonna make sure my answer is correct. So this should be square. Oh, clear. Oh, and I'm gonna need to delete that one. Oh, I have to redo again. All right, let me do one more time. All right, so to open, be very careful here when you type it incorrectly. It will be whole thing will be incorrect. So 3 minus 2.7, close, square, right, plus 4 minus 5.2, close, and then square, plus 5 minus 3.4, 5 minus 3.4, close, square, plus 1 minus 1.7, close, and then square, right? Then I'm going to close one more time. Put all the group the whole thing together. Now I'm going to divide. I want to put the denominator in one grouping symbol as well. So 4 minus 1 is 3, but I'm just going to write it out. Okay, and then put enter. So approximately 1.53. All right, let's go to the next problem. Let's do number 4. Same thing. I'm going to group all the numerator in one grouping symbol with the parenthesis. I'm gonna type in how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to add one more here to make sure my calculator evaluate that as 1 first. So let's do it. So I'm going to do the numerator in one grouping symbol, 1.6 minus 3.2, close that, that's my numerator, over my denominator, I'm going to put in 1 as well, exactly like the way here, 0.7 over square root of 10. Second square, give me square root of 10. Now I need to exit the square root, so use the right arrow, close, right? Then I'm done. So negative 7.23, right? Let's do the next one again. Notice the next one I have two fractions. So each fraction, let me write how I put it. I'm going to put a extra parenthesis around it. I'm going to put one set of parentheses around here. I'm going to do another set over here. So my calculator is going to evaluate each one first and add last, right? So let's do it. So the big one is a red parenthesis right now. And then now do the numerator, which is 1.4 minus 2.4. Close that square. Now the whole thing here over the denominator. So divide 2.4. And I'm going to close my parenthesis. That's the first set. Plus my second fraction. Right, the numerator itself is a parenthesis. 16 minus 13. Quantity square. Right? And then I divide by 13. And that is inside, close the parenthesis, and hit enter. Now notice that this is a decimal form, 1.11 approximately. If I want to write as a fraction, I could do it too by hitting math. Fraction is highlight, hit enter. And enter, that will convert my answer to a fraction to you, right? And let's do number 6, right? Notice that everything inside square root, so I just need type 1, square root, second square. Oh, second quick, I mean square root. So let me clear my window again. So second square, give me square root. So 550 times 0.4. Now I need to tell my calculator that do the OPO operation 1 minus 0.4 first before I do the multiplication. So put a parenthesis around it. 1 minus 0.4. And close. Now exit the square root. Enter. Now notice that I get approximately 0.49. Let's do two more, number 7 and number 8. Okay, same thing. Now, again, before I do it, let me decide what to do in my calculator. I'll tell my calculator I'm going to do the division here inside the parenthesis first, and then times 1.4645, and then subtract it from 12. So to make sure my calculator knows what to do this thing first, I can put one more grouping symbol over here. Just make sure it does, right? So let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to do 12 minus. Right, I have a big grouping symbol, 1.645. When it's nothing in between here, it tells me to multiply times a fraction, right? A fraction inside grouping symbol again, 3 over square root of 21. Oh, I'm keep doing the same. I'm keep making the same mistake here. I'm gonna do this. My type in second square. So that is clear. So gonna give me over square root. Let me revise it. Okay. So that's good thing about you want to do things in one step. So you want to be careful how you type it in. Times. Again, I want a big grouping symbol. 1.645. Again, I want to just do everything in one step here. That's 45 times. Okay, 3 over square root is this one of 21. Okay, I exit, close the small parenthesis, and then the big one. Right? So approximately 10.92. Let's do one more, right? So second square root. Now notice I have a fraction inside square root. So I'm going to put the numerator in one big square root, one big parenthesis, a big grouping symbol in the numerator. So 0.82 times 1 minus 0.82. Oh, let me do one more, 82. And then I'm going to divide. Oh, I'll do one more parenthesis, notice. I need one more to close the top part. If I don't do it, you open, you have to close. You don't close, you're going to give it air, right? So now the numerator inside one big set of parentheses. Now divided by the denominator, which is 512. Okay, 512. So watch out how we type it out here. 2, enter. Right, approximately 0.02. Let me do this one again. right? So let me tell you what I'm doing. So inside the numerator, I'm going to put inside one big square parenthesis and then over the denominator. So I'm going to type it in the square root first, then I type the numerator, the whole thing inside one big square root, type everything inside exactly the same, and then over the denominator. Let's do one more time that one. So second square root, I'm going to put everything inside big parenthesis. So it's 0.82 times, oh, notice that I didn't put the point in the front, so it will become 82 there. So be very careful here. My decimal didn't type out. So times 1 minus 0.82. Close. And I'm going to close one more time. Now, over the denominator, which is give me 512. Okay. And then enter. Right? That's how you do it. So I say, follow the auto operation, but all those work here can be done using a calculator. All right, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you next time.